Welcome to episode 2 of the PGA Merchandise Show here in Orlando. And like we did in the first episode, we want to uncover some of those amazing little nuggets of information around equipment and shoes and a little bit of clothing, and give you some insights into what's coming into South Africa in the next couple of weeks for you to enjoy the game more. A company that really pioneered fitting way back have evolved into something very special, and we're going to chat to John K. Solheim, who is the president of Ping worldwide, and he's going to talk about some of the great equipment that you're going to get your hands on in the coming months.
.430 max 10K. It's pretty crazy that you can have that extra forgiveness and not lose any speed, and it'll be life-changing.
What I was very surprised about was how forgiving it was and how fast it was. I would expect the ball speeds to go down a little bit, but it didn't seem like this one did at all, so I think it could be a potential driver for me to play in the future.
Super excited about the G430 Max 10K driver. It's our first driver where like all configurations are over 10K, 10,000 inertia. That's taking it in 2 axes, so it's kind of a little bit of a fun math to get there, but when you add the 2 numbers together, it's over 10K, very close to the USGA limit, but obviously conforming. So it's our most forgiving driver ever. Super excited because it's also a pretty low spinning driver, so golfers of all levels. So if you're an entry-level golfer, you're gonna really take advantage of that forgiveness. You hit it all over the face, get good ball speed and nice and straight. If you're a better golfer swinging it faster, you're gonna take advantage of that low spin, so it gives you a nice high launch with low spin, so you can really gain some distance. I personally picked up several yards switching to it, and my last driver, I didn't think I could hit it any better, and then I went into the fitting process, and I'm like, I'm taking it early, so I've been playing it for like 5 months now.
Hello everyone, Andrew Rice here, and I'm holding the driver that everyone is talking about. It's the new G430, and it's Ping's longest driver ever, by far. For those of you wanting the most forgiveness, you'll be pleased to learn the Max is still the Max. With a combined MOI of 10,000 plus, nothing else comes close to its dispersion plot. If you like long and straight, put the Max to work. It fits the most golfers and offers a 3-position CG shifter with a 25-gram movable weight to help influence ball flight. The G430 LST is the talk of the tour around the world. It has a composite crown, aptly named Carbon Fly Wrap, as it draws inspiration from the Dragonfly technology of its predecessors. Only now it saves even more weight without compromising the durability of the crown. All of which allowed the Ping engineers to position the CG precisely where they wanted it in the 440cc head to deliver more ball speed, lower spin, and added forgiveness. Like the Max, it offers a 3-position CG shifter, but with a 22-gram weight to help influence ball flight. It looks fast and is fast. For all you slicers, and there are a lot of you, Ping encourages you to give the G430 SFT a try. SFT stands for Straight Flight Technology for a reason. There's nothing on the market that compares to its ability to correct ball flight, taking you out of the trees and onto the fairway. New to the SFT is a 2-position movable 22-gram weight, giving you 13 yards of right to left correction in the draw position and another 7 yards in the draw plus. Add it up and that's up to 20 yards of movement. And by the way, they did all this without giving up any of Ping's famous forgiveness. In fact, the LST and SFT are more forgiving than before. The fitting options extend beyond the movable weight technology with Ping's lightweight, aerodynamic trajectory tuning 2.0 hosel, offering 8 combinations of loft and lie to further dial in ball flight. Several shaft offerings, including the Ping-engineered Ultra CB Black, ensure fitting experts a flex and weight to match your specific needs. I think you'll agree, once you put any of the new Ping G430 drivers to the test, nothing else compares. They're long and powerful with a sound that's turning heads.
I think the new Blueprint irons, the S and T, specifically the S, because that's what I've been mostly testing, they just look incredible. When you grip them and look down to the ball, they're such a good looking iron. And then when you hit a good shot dead out of the center, just the turf interaction is really pure and the ball flight is nice. So it just kind of matches. It gives you all the good feels when you hit a good shot. And it's not a surprise how it's already doing well out on tour.
The Blueprint S for me still has a sleek kind of design of a blade that looks good to the eye. You're staring at this club for thousands of hours a year, like you want it to look good to your eyes. So it looked great to me right away, and I don't switch too easily. But this was the one thing maybe in my whole pro career or college career, pro career, that I switched instantly. I barely practiced with it before Napa. I just felt so comfortable with it. It had a little less offset than the eye blade. Even though I am right eye dominant, it was kind of nice to see the iron a little bit more flush. I've always been that way with wedges, so now that my irons are more like that through the bag, it's kind of an added bonus.
See, I've been using the i230s, and then as soon as I saw the Blueprint S, I was actually amazed at the heel to toe. The difference wasn't very obvious. They looked very similar in size to the 230. It felt like I was still going to have that forgiveness. So it felt like a pretty easy switch, and it wasn't something that I was concerned about at all.
Definitely a little bit more forgiving. With my longer irons, I was struggling as I'm getting older, swing speed's getting lower, so getting it out of a first cut and then get that little bit of air out of it, I definitely see a difference in the 3, 4, 5 iron, even 6 iron, compared to the normal Blueprint. I can see in the shape that it alters line a little better, it's better than the crosswind, so it might be a little bit more forgiving than the other one.
I'd say the Blueprint T versions are probably for more of the elite player, just because the size of the blade is small. You know, if you're just a good player, if you're looking for a little bit of extra feel between the heel and the toe shots and maybe want to curve it a little bit more, I think that's a good alternative for just any player that thinks they're a pretty good iron player and wants to have a little bit more control.
We're really excited about the launch of the new G730 iron this year. This iron is designed to get the ball really high up in the air for golfers to generate height and stopping power on the greens. It also has a very stable, high MOI design, so really helps protect against those mishits around the face so that golfers can be more consistent, hitting nice, high iron shots into the greens to play their best.
Here at Ping, our products go through rigorous testing, and no test would be complete without Ping Pro, Victor Hovland. From standard-setting favorites to new, tour-inspired models, every PLD putter carries a premium level of precision and detail. Engineered in collaboration with our Ping Pros. The new PLD milled putters, tour-tested, meticulously milled, Victor Hovland approved.
So we're doing great things with our PLD putters, which is what I call our customized putters for the individual golfer. Having great success on the tours with them, as well as like the college and junior golfers. So we're really building this PLD following. We've got new PLD milled putters that are coming out very shortly now. Some great models, the putter that Victor Hovland's been using is in there. So really excited with that, and really back, like you said, to the basics of what Ping started. You know, we came up with the answer putter design. We designed the best answer style putter, and just really putting our stake in the ground that, you know, we started as a putter company, we're still a putter company, and we continue to innovate in the putter category.
In recent times, a new shoe that broke into the South African markets, Painter Golf. And this is a company that focuses on traction, comfort, and of course, waterproofing. They got a wonderful story, and it's all about the improvement of your game.
When golfers go to retail to look for new golf shoes, they're looking for, in order of priority, comfort, traction, and waterproofing. And if you think about golf, you're in your golf shoes for a long time. If you play 9 holes, it's 2 or 3 hours. If you play 18 holes, you might hit balls beforehand. You could be in your shoes for 4, 6, 8 hours. So golf versus any other sport, you're in your shoes for a long time. So comfort for a golfer is like that's their #1 priority. So we look at, when we design and develop product, we think about delivering comfort holistically. So that could be the fit of the product, that could be the weight of the product, flexibility of the product. We also think about the environment inside the shoe. So we want to move perspiration out of the shoe, but we also want to keep water from entering the shoe. And then you have underfoot cushioning. So all of those things contribute to, we deliver on all of those things, but we also think about it during the product creation process that, and if we don't deliver a comfortable product, our consumer's going to tell us that. So comfort is key for us. We look at traction in 3 dimensions, so we want to prevent rotation from happening. We want to give you support horizontally, and then we want to allow you, this is what really sets us apart, is with our propulsion plate and how we've put it in a cavity, what allows the golfer to push into the ground and get that back in responsiveness and energy return that they can bring as far as clubhead speed to the ball. So what we want to do is we want to make sure when you're loading up, your foot wants to rotate. When you take the club to the top, your foot is rotating in the lateral position and the medial position. So if you look at the nub detail that we have on our outsole, that's meant, that chevron design is meant to turn into the turf and stop. So we want to keep you grounded, keep your feet from slipping out from under you. Then what we have is we've got a dual durometer or dual hardness midsole, and it's firmer where you need it, where your weight shift goes to, but it's softer also so that you can benefit from the underfoot cushioning while you're walking the course. In our women's product, we actually make the midsole softer just because of the smaller frame of a woman. We want her to be able to get the same responsiveness and get the same benefit from our technology, but because they have a smaller frame, they don't have to work harder to get that benefit in return. And then lastly, how our propulsion technology, our propulsion plate technology works is when you put pressure on the shoe, that cavity that we have in the outsole actually opens, and then the air pockets of the midsole, they move out from under the foot, and when you release that pressure, the cavity closes, the air pockets come back with under the foot, and then you get that trampoline effect with the graphite propulsion plate. That's all responsive and energy return that the golfer can use to bring power to the golf ball. The common theme that we have now that we've moved from golf footwear into training footwear, and we're talking about training for golf. Just like in golf where you need lateral stability, but we know that there's a lot of players that run as part of their fitness regimen. So we have our training product on a training last, but we've made it runnable. So the heel to toe offset, the toe spring of the product is very runnable. And what we've done is we've partnered with Mike Ware, this year's International President's Cup team captain, on developing that. Mike is what he's after is longevity, flexibility, injury prevention, so that's why he trains every day. So for this fall's President's Cup, we're gonna make that training product for every co-captain, every team member, and it's gonna be a gift from Mike to all those players. So we're looking forward to that this fall.
Anytime I'm traveling internationally and I come across a South African brand, it really excites me to see that South Africans are making their mark in the world. And one of those companies, John Doe, has recently launched a range of sunglasses that are exciting and are really, really cool. I'm going to catch up with the CEO and co-founder, Mike de Jong, to give us a little insight into what John Doe is all about.
The whole idea of starting our own eyewear brand actually started in COVID, when I approached my current partner, Peter Nordier. He's an optometrist, and suggested that we try and put together the greatest set of golf glasses on the planet. We threw around a few ideas. Peter started sourcing lenses around the world, and when I got that magic phone call in 2020 to say, come and check out this lens that I have, the excitement started. I'm very privileged that I know a lot of the golfers in South Africa, and we started testing lenses. Gave guys different glasses to play with, and the feedback was phenomenal. Christian Besaidnout, George Coetzee, and Sean Norris were some of the first guys that said they'd be willing to be ambassadors to this brand after seeing the lens, and hence our first 3 models were named Rambo, a nickname for Christian Besaidnout, Boetie 1, and now the improved Boetie 2, which is a nickname for George Coetzee, and of course Norrie, being named after Sean Norris. After that, many of the other models were born in terms of just golf terminologies in gimme, the dormy, the fringe, the sandy, the fairway, and many more in our range. Most important part of the Yondo glasses sits in the lens, the Amplify golf lens. Now, the Amplify golf lens does exactly what it says. It amplifies what you see. And the technology sits there in that three primary colors in the red, yellow, and green. 100% of the light is allowed through this lens, which then helps your brain to accentuate contrast. And when you have bigger contrast, the picture that the brain forms is a lot clearer in terms of depth perception and light refraction. So a lot of people, when they put these on the first time, will ask me, are you sure that there's not a prescription in there because I can see better? The fact is you are seeing better because of the better contrast that Amplify gives you, which means that you then create a better picture in your brain and you actually do see better. Many of our Sunshine Tour pros all comment that they are making more putts because it's easier for them to read the grain, to have better depth perception, to see the different slopes on the greens. Currently, we are in over 70 shops in South Africa, which is very exciting. We're also the official eyewear to the PGA of South Africa. In a month's time, we'll be launching Yondo USA, which is extremely exciting, through taking the brand into the United States of America. It is something that we are looking forward to. Currently also selling in the UAE, so in the Emirates, in Mauritius, busy with final talks for New Zealand and Australia, and the UK has just started as well. So exciting times for Yondo. We look forward to launching our new products in a couple of months for the new golfing season. And if you haven't tried it, we would like to invite you to go out, find a pair of Yondos and try them. I'm sure that you will find them as exciting as we do.
Both Ricky Fowler and Lexi Thompson have been great advocates for Cobra Golf, and it's all about speed. And they've come up with something really cool now, dark speed in all their woods. They've got a wonderful array of irons and some seriously good putters. Let's go and find a little bit more about the details of what Cobra Golf has to offer you.
For us, the big message this year with our dark speed driver is all about speed. We've built this driver to be the most aerodynamic driver we've ever created, the most aero efficient driver we've ever created. So what you'll see through the dark speed model of Woods is a huge focus on that aerodynamic story. Internally, outside of the aerodynamics, internally we've continued with our power bridge weighting. So we have a power bridge bar which sits at the bottom, which allows us to move that CG low and forward, and that's going to help with ball speed, keeping CG as low as possible, but keeping MOI as high as possible also. And then we also have our PowerShell hot face. So the hot face technology allows us to make sure we know exactly where on the face we can give you the most distance from off-center hits. Our LS model obviously is a low spin model. This is going to be the lowest spin driver we create. It's also going to be the most aerodynamic driver we create. We have two weights at the top where you can fine tune your spin. You have a heavy weight which you can go into the heel or to the toe to help with ball flight. And there's also a weight that sits at the back which we can move the heavy weight into there, which would then give you even more forgiveness as well. Our X model has a weight in the back, but also a weight up the front. So again, that allows us to fine tune spin with a slightly larger head, so something that's going to be a bit more forgiving for players. And then also we have our Dark Speed Max model. Now the Max model there has two weights again, one in the back, but also one in the heel, which will allow us to add some draw bias to help with that slice correction. And we're seeing a ton of improvement in that area as well. A lot of golfers struggle with that slice. In previous years, you would usually go to an offset driver, but what we've managed to do through internal weighting is offer adjustability to cure slices. When we go to fairway, again, three different models, LS, Max, and the X model. So again, we're fine-tuning and helping that golfer make sure they have a product that's going to work for them and be right for them. The technologies we share through that family as well from driver. So you see the same benefits of the hot face, of the power bridge weighting, and also the extreme aero and the adjustability in terms of weight tune. So that's something that's really positive and been really well received. It's the same look. It's that same really cool, appealing look when you look down at the ball. And again, that cascades then as we move into the hybrid. So our dark speed hybrid comes in just one option. There's not an LS, there's not a Max, there's not an X, there's one hybrid. We've reshaped that hybrid. We still use that power bridge weighting. We still use hot face. And again, it looks really, really cool. We're super lucky to work in and with some of the best players in the world. Obviously in the US, the Rickies of this world. Over in Europe and South Africa, we have a big stable of players as well. So getting our product into their hands early and getting their feedback is essential. We do a lot of testing before we launch products, but the transition we've seen players make from Aerojet into this product has been seamless. Feedback has been increased ball speeds, increased club speed. Everything we're telling you it's going to do, we've seen it do, and it's been really, really good for us to get that driver into play on PGA Tour, on DP World Tour, and on Sunshine Tour as well. This year, our dark speed iron features some of the same technologies and benefits we spoke about with the driver. So there's still a big focus on this power bridge weighting system. So again, pulling that CG down as low as possible to allow us to get the ball to hit up high in the sky, but with obviously the trade-off of maximum forgiveness. So this iron is going to be not a game improvement iron, so to speak, but it's going to cover a wide range of player handicaps. The lofts are relatively strong, which is consistent with the market now. And I think the finish of the iron this year has been so well received. Obviously it's dark speed, it has to look cool, the driver looks cool, and you can see here just how cool the iron looks. And the other key technology again is our foam inserts we have in here to allow us to give that soft feel. Obviously an iron that's going to be so hot and go so far, we want to make sure that you still get the feel you need from it. So some foam inserts in there, as I say, all designed around giving you ultimate distance and ultimate forgiveness. The driver, the fairways are all built around, let's hit this ball as far as we can, as straight as we can. That counts as one shot, right? The putter, it could be 1 foot, still one shot, so it's still really important. And we're super lucky to have a really talented team. And obviously Cobra as a brand, we re-entered the putter market 5 years ago with a limited edition 3D printed putter. We're the first brand to bring out 3D printing into golf clubs. And we continue with that story. And 3D printing really is all about allowing us and our engineers to save as much weight as possible, which we can then redistribute to create a putter which is going to be as forgiving as possible. It maybe sounds funny when you say about a putter being forgiving, but let's remember we still don't hit the middle every single time. So we want to make sure that there's as much forgiveness as possible in our putters, and we have that with our 3D printed version in our new Cobra putter lineup. You'll see us continue with some shapes we've had in previous years. Some of those shapes have just been amended and updated slightly. We still continue with our LA Golf face, this previously known as sick face. So this is a descending loft technology where you'll see that sits on the putter. And what that allows us to do is ensure we get a consistent roll on every stroke. Obviously, the quicker you can get the ball rolling, the better or more chance you have of them making that putt. We also then have a vintage series of putters where we don't include 3D printing, but we still offer all the various shapes and sizes that are consistent in the market. And again, with that face technology we have that is from LA Golf.
So the driver has a very forgiving, oversized profile. So it's going to give you a ton of stability on off-center hits. So it's going to help you create a more consistent straight ball flight. Additionally, we've included a brand new matte black finish on both the crown and the sole to give it a really premium look. In addition to the offset driver, we also have a straight neck version for players that prefer a traditional look at a dress with no offset. Moving on to the fairways and hybrids, the unique shaping with these products is its low profile design. So meaning that the face sits lower to the ground. So this is going to position the CG nice and low to help you get the ball airborne faster and easier. The irons have a forgiving cavity back shape. The blade length and the top line is going to be thicker than, say, a game improvement iron. So this is going to help improve confidence standing over the ball, that the iron is going to give this player the forgiveness that they need. Additionally, we've added a speed channel internally right behind the leading edge. And what this is going to do is it's going to help provide high launch and a little bit more speed on shots hit low on the face. For the women looking for a lightweight and forgiving option, we have a women's version of the Airx products as well. It features a really nice looking gloss black finish, as well as cool blue accents on the sole and the crown. Has the same technology as the men's products, but we've built the women's product with a lightweight women's flex shaft that's going to be 50 grams, as well as an undersized lambkin grip to allow for maximum comfort. Last but not least, for players that are either beginners just starting out at the game or are looking for an incredible value, we have Airx complete sets that come with everything you need, from a driver, fairway, hybrid, iron, putter, and even a very premium cart bag in both the men's and women's versions.